This has got to be one of the more weirder cards to come out in more recent times, because Return the Favor does something weird that no other card currently does. It can copy any activated or triggered abilities, but notice it doesn't say that you control, because every other thing that could copy an activated or triggered ability has the stipulation of what you control. So Acrylic the Writhing Storm asked a really interesting question: what if you try to copy a cumulative upkeep trigger? So my initial thought process is when that trigger resolves, they put an age counter on Braid of Fire, and then they have to add the mana into their mana pool, because the way that Braid of Fire is worded, you have to sacrifice it unless you pay its upkeep cost. And anytime something is worded do something unless a player does something else, that means that it is a cost. And a player can only pay a cost if they have the means to be able to pay it. Since the controller of the copy of the trigger doesn't control the permanent, they can't sacrifice that permanent. And because they can't sacrifice that permanent, they don't have the means of being able to pay that cost. And because they can't pay that cost, they have to go with the other option. But this is why we have to check to make sure how things are actually worded. The way that it's actually worded is that sacrificing it is not part of the cost, it is a result of not paying the cost. So what actually happens here is that the controller of the copy puts an age counter on Braid of Fire, then they can choose to pay the cost of adding that much red mana into their mana pool, and if they don't, then nothing happens because they can't sacrifice a permanent they don't control.